Yo guys, been a while since the last one of these, but I'm back with some modding videos. However, this one is much different than the other ones, and you may have already seen this mod posted to other channels. Cough Chris cough. But just cause he made a video on it doesn't mean I'm not allowed to, so thus I present to you this crazy completely revamped towers, balloons, and game modes mod. First off, I must obviously give a shout out to the creator of this mod, Jambite, whose channel you can find in the description below. I'm sure it took countless hours of sweat and tears to work on this mod, so props to him, cause there are so many changes that I honestly don't have a damn clue what is going on in these games. It'll take a while to figure out what each tower and upgrade does, cause I didn't read the entire set of changes made. But anyways, what you are watching right now is one of the special game modes Jambite created, and I suppose I'll call it Nightmare Mode because of clickbait and views. Basically, both players start off with just one life and some extra starting cash. But the real nightmare here is, again, figuring out what the hell these towers do. As you can see right now, I have Ice, Dart, Super Monkey, and Boat as my 4th towers, but interestingly enough, the Ice Tower turns into a Ninja Monkey, the Dart Monkey turns into a Sentry Gun, and the Super Monkey turns into a Spike Factory. Or should I say Pineapple Factory. Meanwhile, the boat remains the same for the most part. If we take a look at Tyler's side right now, he's got farms, which I believe is completely unchanged, as well as a boomerang and bomb tower. However, if you were paying any attention, they certainly do not act like boomerangs or bomb towers. The boomerang is pretty OP on this mod based on the observation of these games. It shoots out a heat-seeking projectile that has a shit ton of popping power and pierce, as well as combo ability to boot. Literally nothing I can do to Tyler right now. However, Tyler can certainly do some nasty things to me now that my boost is on cooldown, and he sure does take advantage of it with a light pink balloon plus we grow Rainbow Rush. Yes, that's right, I said light pink balloons. Just one of the few new balloons in this mod, the light pink balloon replaces the beloved zebra balloon and has some pretty unique properties. I believe it can only be popped with either plasma, fire, or napalm damage, which is why I just got completely run over in that last game. None of the towers I used had any light pink balloon popping power, at least not at the level of upgrades I had them at. I don't quite recall whether or not the higher level upgrades would work. But speaking of the lack of light pink popping power that game, we have another problem on our hands over here, cause none of my randomized towers have any group popping power and shoot slower than a pump action shotgun, LOL. That and the fact that one of the towers costs a whopping $4,000 at base cost. I wish I could tell you more about how weird these towers I currently have are, but it ended so fast that we must move on to the next one, unfortunately. This time, RNG has given me Chipper, Cobra, Tack, and Farm. Great, cause now I can talk about one of those towers I got last game, the Chipper. I have no idea what it does when fully upgraded, but at the very low levels it seems to suck in balloons at an awfully slow rate while granting you $40 in the process. Doesn't seem worth it to me, hence why I've passed on it this game in favor of the almighty Tack Shooter, which appears to be super OP. It looks as if the 2.0 upgrade is basically our current version of the Blade Shooter, while the 3.0 upgrade is what it would look like if 3.3 towers exist, which in this case would be a 16-sided blade sprayer, pretty freaking strong considering the recent buff to 3 pierce. As for the Cobra, I don't have a dumb clue what it does or why it costs a whopping $1,100 to place. Seems like it does what a normal Cobra Monkey does, and that's about it. I suppose I'll continue with the topic of new balloons, which got derailed earlier. So light pink balloons, these contain what I believe to be 2 purple balloons, which are blazing fast and each contain 2 yellow balloons within themselves. This is in place of the white balloon, which no longer exists in this mod, and as such all the ice towers in the world are joist. Then there's one more new balloon which will be shown. It looks like a ceramic balloon except there's a tinier lead balloon plastered in the middle of it. I would assume it has both properties of a lead and a ceramic, but I haven't looked into it. Anyways, unlucky RNG loadout strikes again. No lead popping power in this loadout means Tyler can just run over me by layering a shit ton of purple balloons over the leads. Feels bad. Alright, so a couple more things to mention. For some reason, Camo and Regan balloon properties are already unlocked starting round 1, not sure if that was a mistake or not, but either way it makes things pretty damn broken, not gonna lie. Just take a look at this game for example. I was about to kill Tyler with those Camo reds cause his ninja can't detect them, but apparently that village tower does. I have no idea what it does on this mod, but it's working for him, at least up to the point where he sells his ninja to get another village, which does absolutely nothing to pop balloons. LOL. Just part of the learning process, I guess. It would have been a lot easier for both of us if the descriptions for each tower upgrade and game were accurately modified to show what it actually does, but if I recall correctly, Tyler done goofed and gave both of us the older version of the mod which didn't have all that stuff in yet. I think the newer and more updated version cleaned some of that up a bit, so if we decide to continue with making videos of this mod, I'll be sure to have it nice and updated for you. There's still quite a few other modes to show you that you might have seen on Tyler's channel already, but for this video it'll just strictly be this nightmare mode. So while this match is going on, let me take a quick 30-second smoke break. I mean a 30-second Q&A break. Smoking is bad, kids. Don't do it. I have 2 questions to be answered today. First one is by Bob Eisenhower. Why is my Twitter only videos? Probably because I linked my YouTube channel to my Twitter so that every time I upload something, it automatically makes a tweet right after as well. The reason there is nothing else in between is simply because I don't tweet out shit, or at least very rarely do, mainly cause I got nothing else important to tell you that I wouldn't otherwise just tell on my Discord or in a video. So yeah, not much of a point in following it unless you want to see that once in a few months tweet from me. Next question by Leo. Which city in Ontario do I live in? England. England is my city, and if it weren't for me, then Canada would be shitty. JK, somewhere around the Toronto/GTA region is the serious answer. That about wraps it for the Q&A. Now I introduce a quick little segment which I rarely bring up, which is Meme of the Day. The only reason I'm reviving this segment is because I came across a really spicy meme yesterday that had some pretty damn good truth to it. Here it is. Credit to Lee as a team cause I found it on Discord. As dank as the meme is, I think I would have to critique it a bit. Personally, I would swap the 3rd and 4th stages around cause the 3rd stage is already pretty far gone from being mentally sane, whereas I think the 4th stage isn't too absurd if you're actually better than 75% of MCOF players. Either that or change 75% to 99%. I don't think anyone's genuinely at that 5th stage yet though, and thank goodness, cause if that was the case I think we'd have to lock him up in an asylum. If you got any other dank Bloons memes, feel free to share them, and if I like it enough I may actually feature them. Let's spend the last couple of minutes on this last match, which should take us up to that juicy 10-minute mark. After having played around 10 games or so, I think me and Tyler have a general idea of what's OP and what isn't. One no-brainer is the Boomerang Tower, and others close behind would be the Tack Shooter and the Ninja/Ice Tower. I mean, just look how freaking OP that thing is versus non-Moab Bloons. It just distracts everything in its radius back while having the popping power of the Ice Tower too. Other than that, I don't think the others are too game-breaking. I for one find the glue flamethrower pretty fun to play with, same with the mortar-like harpoon tower, which I only showed for a brief moment in the second game. You can go check Tyler's perspective of the games in the description if you wanna see that tower in action. Oh yeah, and by the way, make sure to check these games on Battles TV and compare it to how it is going on in here. I guarantee you people will be like WTF when watching that replay without knowing what's actually going on. Like that shit too, so it appears on the popular tab. Again, if you want to see more of this, all you have to do is ask, but chances are I'll make a couple of sequels anyway, since this is the kind of desirable Bloons content needed to survive in the YouTube world. Likes and all that are appreciated, and have a nightmare day.